Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The sun sets behind the city skyline, casting long shadows across the living room where I sit in a chair, flipping through a stack of birthday cards. Each card is filled with cheerful messages from friends and family, all eager to celebrate Lisa's special day. I tap my fingers against the cards, mentally piecing together the plan for her surprise birthday party. The restaurant is booked, the guest list is confirmed, and everything seems perfect, until I decide to make one final check. Lisa's phone rests on the kitchen counter, illuminated with a notification. I had asked her for it earlier, but she'd been preoccupied, and I'd let it slide. Now, it seems like a good time to gather contact details for her friends and coworkers who might not have responded to the invitations. I slide the phone into my hand, feeling a pang of guilt. I've never been one to snoop, but the meticulous planner in me wants to ensure everything is in order. Unlocking the phone, I navigate to her contact list. Her face, smiling at me from the screen, seems to taunt me with its familiarity. My fingers hover over the screen, scrolling through names. I pause at a few, noting who's in her work circle and who's in her social circle. That's when I see the conversation with Mike, one of her coworkers. I remember Mike from a few of Lisa's work events, always charming, always polite. I open the message thread, expecting to see typical office banter or mundane chatter about upcoming projects. What I see stops me cold. "Happy birthday, Lisa. I can't wait to make tonight unforgettable," Mike's message reads. It's followed by Lisa's response, "I'll be waiting. Just make sure to surprise me." I frown, confusion slowly morphing into suspicion. The messages are flirty, but they could be interpreted as innocent, until I see the next line from Mike, "I'll tie you to the damn bed and give you an unforgettable night." My heart pounds in my chest, a mix of disbelief and anger crashing over me like a tidal wave. I stare at the screen, the words blurring as my vision narrows. Betrayal isn't just an abstract concept anymore, it's a jagged reality piercing through the veil of my trust. I clench my jaw, feeling a surge of adrenaline. The surprise party, the carefully planned event meant to celebrate our life together, now feels like a mockery. Every detail I'd perfected seems tainted, a cruel joke at the expense of my fidelity. Lisa's going to be completely blindsided. She'll think the evening is all about celebrating her. Little will she know, I've been plotting her downfall in the quiet corners of our home. I pace the room, my mind racing through 1,000 scenarios. The pain of her betrayal is fresh, sharp, and I feel an almost primal urge to retaliate. I make a decision, this will be the grandest revenge. Not just a swift end, but a calculated dismantling of everything she holds dear. I spend the next hour drafting a plan. I'll reveal everything at the party. The look of shock on her face when her friends and family learn the truth will be the climax of my revenge. I'll make sure the entire evening is a reflection of her deceit. As the night draws near, I prepare everything meticulously. The restaurant will be the stage for her public humiliation, and I'll orchestrate every detail to ensure that the truth comes to light in the most dramatic way possible. I want her to experience every bit of the betrayal she inflicted on me. Lisa is busy preparing for her special day, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing. Her excitement, her eagerness, it all feels like a lie, a deception so profound that I can barely contain my rage. The party begins, and guests start to arrive. Lisa's radiant smile greets them, and I feel a twinge of regret for what I'm about to do. But then I remember the messages, the betrayal. The regret fades, replaced by a cold determination. When the time comes, I'll reveal everything. The party will be a celebration of her own downfall, a painful reminder of the betrayal she's inflicted on me. And as the evening unfolds, I'll be the one watching her world crumble. The stage is set, and the drama is about to begin. The restaurant is alive with the hum of conversation and clinking glasses. Soft jazz plays in the background, a stark contrast to the tension thrumming in my veins. I stand near the entrance, surveying the room with a calculated gaze. Lisa, dressed in an elegant red dress, is the center of attention, her laughter ringing out like a melody. Tonight, she's the star of her own charade. Guests mingle, drinks in hand, while I hover near the bar. I see her friends, family members, and coworkers, each one oblivious to the spectacle that's about to unfold. My fingers tighten around the edge of the bar, and I take a deep breath, trying to steady the storm within. "Hey, there," a familiar voice says. It's Mike, the very man whose messages have driven me to this point. He claps me on the shoulder, his face glowing with feigned enthusiasm. "Ready to celebrate Lisa's big night?" I manage a tight smile. "Absolutely. Everything's perfect." Mike nods, his eyes darting around the room. He seems eager to dive into the festivities, unaware of the trap I've set. I excuse myself, making my way to the corner where I've arranged a small projector to display the damning messages. It's hidden behind a curtain, ready to be unveiled at the right moment. Lisa, radiant and blissful, is surrounded by her closest friends. I can see the joy in her eyes, a stark contrast to the turmoil churning inside me. She laughs, accepts gifts, and basks in the attention, unaware of the impending storm. The clock ticks towards the moment I've been waiting for. I glance at the projector, then at Lisa, feeling a surge of grim satisfaction. It's time. I step to the front of the room, tapping a glass to get everyone's attention. The room quiets, eyes turning toward me with curiosity. "Thank you all for coming tonight to celebrate Lisa's birthday," I begin, my voice steady. "I have something special planned, a little surprise for the guest of honor." Whispers ripple through the crowd. Lisa's face lights up, her smile broadening as she turns to me. She looks delighted, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. I nod to the server, who pulls back the curtain to reveal the projector. The screen flickers to life, and the room falls into a hushed silence as the text messages appear. I watch as Lisa's smile fades, her eyes widening in shock. "Wait, what's this?" she stammers, taking a step forward. The messages scroll by, each one more incriminating than the last. Mike's face is a mask of disbelief, his confident demeanor shattering as he realizes the gravity of the situation. Lisa's voice trembles as she tries to speak. This isn't what it looks like." The room erupts in murmurs and gasps. Her friends and family exchange confused and angry glances. The realization of her betrayal spreads like wildfire, igniting a blaze of emotions. "Lisa, is there something you want to explain?" I ask, my voice cold and steady. The betrayal I feel is raw and palpable, but I maintain my composure, focused on the drama unfolding before me. She turns to Mike, desperation evident in her eyes. "Mike, you have to say something." Mike, caught off guard and visibly uncomfortable, stammers, I didn't know it would come to this. I thought we were just having fun." Lisa's face flushes with humiliation. She looks around, searching for support, but finds only judgment and betrayal. Her friends step back, their expressions ranging from pity to anger. "Lisa, how could you?" one of her closest friends, Emily, demands, her voice laced with hurt. "You had us all believing you were committed." Lisa's attempts to salvage the situation only dig her deeper. "I made a mistake. I thought it would be just a secret between us, not something that would come out like this." Her explanations fall flat, and the damage is done. The party, which was supposed to celebrate her, has turned into a spectacle of her disgrace. The guests begin to disperse, the festive atmosphere replaced by a somber reality. As the last of the guests leave, I watch Lisa's world crumble. She is left standing alone, her dignity in tatters. The weight of her actions is finally settling in, and I can see the realization of her betrayal etched across her face. Mike makes a hasty exit, his expression a mix of guilt and shame. Lisa's attempts to reach out to him are futile. He's gone, leaving her to face the consequences alone. I approach Lisa as she stands amidst the remnants of her shattered evening. Her eyes are filled with tears, but I have no sympathy left. Is there anything left to say? I ask, my voice devoid of emotion. Lisa shakes her head, her composure gone. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of this. I nod, feeling a strange sense of finality. The revenge I sought is complete, but the pain remains. It's too late for apologies. I think we're done here. As I walk away, leaving Lisa behind, the night feels heavy with the weight of what's transpired. The chapter of our lives has ended, but the consequences of her betrayal will linger, leaving a mark that neither of us will soon forget. The following morning, the once elegant restaurant now lies abandoned, the remnants of Lisa's birthday party scattered across the floor like the debris of a fallen empire. I linger near the entrance, waiting for the staff to clean up and reflecting on the chaos of last night. The clarity of daylight contrasts sharply with the emotional turmoil of the previous evening. Lisa's betrayal has left a mark not only on our lives but on the lives of everyone who witnessed the spectacle. As I make my way back to my apartment, I find my phone buzzing with messages, texts from friends who saw the drama unfold and inquiries from mutual acquaintances. I ignore them, focusing instead on the immediate aftermath and the steps I need to take. Arriving home, I find Lisa's calls and texts have flooded my phone. Each message is a mix of pleading and anger, but I choose not to respond. I need space to think, to process the wreckage of my marriage. I sit at my kitchen table, surrounded by silence, when a knock at the door interrupts my thoughts. I open the door to find Emily, one of Lisa's closest friends, standing on the threshold. Her face is pale, her eyes red from crying. I had to come over, Emily says, her voice trembling. I wanted to make sure you're okay. Come in, I say, stepping aside. We sit at the table, and I offer her a cup of coffee. She accepts it, gratefully. I can't believe what happened last night, Emily says, shaking her head. Lisa was so embarrassed. She's been calling me, trying to explain, but I don't know if I can forgive her. Forgiveness is hard, I reply, staring into my coffee cup. Last night was a shock to everyone, but it was a reality check for me. It's not just about what she did, it's about how it affects everyone involved. Emily nods, her gaze distant. She's a mess right now. I think she's trying to piece her life back together, but it's hard to see her like this. Hard to see her like this? I ask, a touch of bitterness in my voice. How do you think it feels to be the one betrayed? To have your life turned upside down by someone you trusted? Emily flinches at my tone but nods in understanding. You're right. I can't imagine how much pain you're in. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. Thank you, I say, appreciating her gesture. But I need to handle this in my own way. As Emily leaves, I am left alone with my thoughts. The aftermath of last night is a maze of emotions, but I know that moving forward requires more than just emotional reckoning, it demands action. Later that day, I arrange a meeting with my lawyer. The process of divorce begins, and I need to ensure that everything is handled legally and fairly. As I sit across from my lawyer, a sense of finality washes over me. We'll need to gather all necessary documentation and evidence, my lawyer explains, outlining the steps ahead. Since you have the text messages as evidence, it strengthens your case significantly. I nod, listening carefully. I want to ensure that everything is handled properly. I need to move on, but I also want to make sure that there's a clear resolution. My lawyer agrees, and we outline a plan for the divorce proceedings. As I leave the office, I feel a mixture of relief and sadness. The process will be long and painful, but it's necessary to sever the ties and find closure. As the days pass, Lisa continues to reach out, but I remain resolute in my silence. The damage has been done, and the conversations we once had are now echoes of a fractured past. One evening, I receive a call from Lisa. Against my better judgment, I answer. Her voice is shaky, filled with regret and desperation. "Can we talk?" she asks. "I need to explain. I owe you that much." "We've had our talk," I reply, my voice firm. "The messages were clear. I don't need more explanations." "But this isn't just about the messages," she insists. "It's about the life we had together. I made a terrible mistake, but it doesn't change what we had." I can hear the pain in her voice, but it's overshadowed by the hurt I feel. I'm done talking. I need to focus on moving forward. The conversation ends with her pleading for another chance, but I remain resolute. I hang up and sit in silence, contemplating the future. The path to recovery is long, but it begins with acceptance and letting go. As I navigate the fallout of the betrayal, I realize that the journey to healing is just beginning. The betrayal has shaken the foundation of my life, but with each step forward, I am reclaiming my sense of self. The retribution I sought is not just about the consequences for Lisa, it's about finding my own path and rebuilding from the ashes of a broken trust. The story of our lives has taken a dramatic turn, and the chapters ahead will reveal the true extent of the fallout. For now, I brace myself for the challenges ahead, determined to emerge stronger and more resilient in the face of adversity. The days following the confrontation and divorce proceedings are filled with a sense of routine and detachment. Life moves forward in its usual monotony, but the shadow of betrayal lingers. Lisa is no longer a part of my daily life, yet the emotional scars remain. I throw myself into work, trying to find solace in the routine of my photography assignments. One evening, as I review some old images, my phone buzzes with an email notification. It's from a new, anonymous address. Curiosity piqued, I open it to find a series of detailed documents and photographs attached. The subject line reads, "The truth behind the betrayal." My heart races as I scan the contents. The documents reveal more than just Lisa's infidelity, they expose a larger web of deceit that involves not only Lisa but also Mike, and even some people from my own circle. The plot thickens as the documents suggest that Lisa's affair was not merely a personal betrayal but part of a calculated scheme to undermine me professionally and personally. The photographs show Lisa and Mike meeting in secret, discussing plans to ruin my career and reputation. They had been using Lisa's charm and my trust to gather information and manipulate situations to their advantage. It wasn't just a personal vendetta, it was a calculated effort to destroy my life. The revelations hit me like a punch to the gut. I'm not just dealing with a broken marriage, I've been targeted by a coordinated effort of betrayal. Anger flares within me, and I realize that my quest for revenge was only scratching the surface. Fueled by a newfound determination, I decide to confront both Lisa and Mike. I arrange a meeting, orchestrating it under the pretense of reconciliation. I want to catch them off guard, to reveal the depth of their betrayal in a way they'll never forget. The meeting is set at a secluded park, a place that used to hold pleasant memories for Lisa and me. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the ground, I wait in the darkness, preparing for the final act of retribution. Lisa arrives first, her face weary and resigned. She sits on a bench, waiting for what she assumes will be a straightforward discussion. Mike arrives shortly after, his demeanor guarded but confident. The two of them exchange glances, clearly unsure of the purpose of the meeting. "Thanks for coming," I say, stepping out from the shadows. My voice is calm, but there's an edge to it that makes them both uneasy. "Are we here to talk about the past?" Lisa asks, her voice guarded. "I thought we had moved on." "I thought so too," I reply, pulling out the documents and photographs from the anonymous email. I lay them out on a nearby table. But it seems there's more to discuss. Mike's eyes widen as he sees the evidence. Lisa's face turns pale, her confidence crumbling. "What is this?" Mike stammers. "It's the truth," I say, my voice cold. "You and Lisa weren't just betraying me on a personal level. You were part of a scheme to destroy my career and reputation." Lisa tries to regain her composure. This isn't what it looks like. We were trying to protect ourselves. Protect yourselves? I retort, incredulous. You were plotting my downfall, using my trust to undermine everything I worked for. There's no justification for that. The confrontation grows heated, voices rising as anger and guilt collide. The park's peaceful ambience becomes a backdrop for a dramatic showdown. Lisa and Mike try to deflect blame, but the evidence is overwhelming. Everything we did was calculated, Lisa admits, tears streaming down her face. We thought we could manipulate the situation to our advantage. But it all spiraled out of control. I look at them both, feeling a mixture of vindication and sorrow. The damage is done. You've betrayed not just me but the trust that held our lives together. As the confrontation reaches its peak, I pull out a recording device. I've documented this meeting, and I plan to use it to clear my name and expose your actions. You'll face the consequences of your betrayal. The realization that their scheme is exposed hits Lisa and Mike hard. They scramble for excuses, but their pleas fall on deaf ears. I've ensured that their deceit will come to light, and they will face the repercussions of their actions. The final act of revenge is not one of physical violence but of undeniable exposure. I leave them in the park, their world shattered by the revelations. As I walk away, I feel a strange sense of closure. The truth has been revealed, and the betrayal has been met with the justice it deserves. The next few weeks are a whirlwind of legal battles and public scrutiny. The documents and recordings are leaked, and the scandal unfolds in the media. Lisa and Mike's reputations are tarnished, their lives upended by the truth of their betrayal. As for me, I begin to rebuild my life with a renewed sense of purpose. The scars of betrayal remain, but I've learned to channel my anger into something constructive. The journey of recovery is long, but with each step, I find strength and resilience. The story of betrayal and retribution has reached its conclusion. The characters involved have parted ways, their lives forever altered by the actions that transpired. And as the final chapter closes, I am left with the knowledge that, in the end, the truth has prevailed, and justice has been served.